he's super smart. I mean, I met him years ago in Cannes, like, I think when he was having a fight with Harvey Weinstein. But he's just like, he's amazing, he's smart. It's been fun, and it's a really good jury, and actually it's quite, the selection's pretty, like, interesting. So I'm really enjoying it, actually, apart from this cold. But he's good. He doesn't want to, as long just to set an agreement, but mainly we agree so far.
When you were thinking of Joaquin for your last film, was James's films reference points for you to sort of discover the actor before meeting him in person?
No, weirdly, not. Although I mean, he's been great in James's movies and stuff. It was more, I don't know. I just kind of felt. It's weird for me because sometimes it's just about how a person kind of feels or looks, or he's got a kind of femininity about him as well. He's never done an action thing. That was interesting. Neither have I. And so we were exploring this thing together, which was really interesting. And he came 2 months before. So that's kind of crazy. So we were just kind of finding that character together, and I felt he was right for it. So for some reason, I was from a photo. I just put a photo from the screensaver, and I'm like, he's in the movie. But then, getting Joaquin Phoenix is a different thing from thinking he's in your movie, But from the beginning, that was the first time I really thought of an actor right from the start. And it was from a photo rather than a film.
I know you kind of set the internet ablaze with.
I think I was being a bit facetious and saying something stupid, probably, because I wrote 160 pages in the summer, and it was becoming this thing. I watched documentaries every day.
What documentaries?
Everything, ranging from the internet's own boy, the Aaron Swartz. Was really interesting, and just about the environment, about corruption. That probably bleeds into some of the work. And so I started writing a film about a kind of pioneering women photographer, and it started becoming more and more about the kind of world that's crashing around her, you know what I mean? So I don't know what that'll be yet, because I wrote it 160 pages, but I didn't look back, I just wrote it, and so maybe I'll read it and think it's rubbish, I don't know, But anyway, some things are coming in, I think they're...
Is it based on a specific photographer?
No, it's just an original idea.
Original idea? It's set in the...
I used to be a photographer, so maybe I'm just interested in that.
But is it set during the present day, or...?
It's maybe get some time travel. That's no way to say. I'm not going to... I'll wait until I've got something decent before, because I think it's funny when people, you just say you're writing something, and I've just started writing something, it's it has to be good, as well. So I think it's interesting.
Did living in the U.S. for that little juncture, did that accelerate those ideas? Because I read Naomi Klein's text, this is there's a lot of discourse. I mean, there's ink spilled on this every single day.
Yeah, it probably is. It probably was. I had a lot. It's strange when you make a film now, because it was quite staggered, the release. So, I was talking about the film much longer than I would.
Yeah, it was in France there.
And then San Sebastian, and then it went on. It didn't finish until Italy. And I'm like, I really need to write something else. I need to talk about something else. So I started writing about things that interested me, and it became this kind of Rosemary's Baby and the kind of Antarctic or something, sort of crazy things coming in. And but it was more like a way of kind of starting to create again. And whether that's, I've also got a couple other scripts, you know what I mean? But it's just really important to when you're, it's great to get everyone, the reaction to the last film was amazing, but you just moving on a bit, on planes or whatever that is, and so I had I wrote a script in 6 weeks, and that is too long, and I need to work in it, but this is the workings of this thing, and I don't know what it is quite yet. Joaquin loves to just immerse himself. He comes super early, he's got to find it, he's like a beast, a shapeshifter, he questions everything. It can drive you nuts, but it's brilliant because it's you need to be sure about what you really want. I love Joaquin Phoenix.
I was kind of shocked that Joaquin doesn't watch his own films. I mean, I imagine he looks behind the monitor at some point. How does he engage with seeing him on screen?
I think he I don't know, I think for him it's he's always pushing himself to be better, it's almost like a flagellation, you know, it's like pushing, you know, like if something feels phony, he just doesn't, he's got a brilliant instinct, you know, and I really enjoyed working with him because sometimes you don't know why something's good or bad or right or wrong, but you know the camera shouldn't be there, or you had a brilliant idea in that, you know, you know that something great in the script, but it just isn't working, and you've got to be really astute about saying, look, that just doesn't, you don't flog a dead horse, like, you know what I mean, or this feels phony, and he's just one of those guys that has a super, he's got great empathy, like he totally is an empath, you know what I mean, and so we liked each other in that sense that I was like, sometimes I feel like that doesn't work, I'm not going to do it like that, because normally I've got hardly any time to shoot, I don't have a lot of choices, I've got to think on my feet and be strong, you know what I mean, so you can go with your real feeling rather than anything phony or that doesn't feel true to the character. So he's very like that. He's the best empath I've ever met. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the best actor you can have.
I love the body language between you two when you were sort of like protecting yourself at Cannes during all the, you know, when you guys won, but also afterwards there's all these junctures where you've seen it, it's like beyond just like a simplistic chemistry between the, it's like well,
if you just get, you know, you get very close to when you're doing something really intense like a project like this, you just end up, it was a super intense experience. I mean, at the end of that movie, like normally at the end of a movie you're like, I just want to go sleep for 6 months because it's just been so crazy and stuff, but this was like, let's just go make another movie, let's do something, like, because that creative energy, and I've just never, like, it's such a pleasure when you meet someone like that, and I think just genuinely he's into the work, he's not really into talking about it, he's not like, he doesn't like trailers, he doesn't want a driver, he doesn't want, you know, he likes shooting fast, and
doesn't want white flowers in his room.
No, that's everything he detests, but what he really loves is being in the moment in a movie and being part of that thing, and that's a joy, you know. But yeah, like you know, he's someone I feel super close to and I'd love to work with. All of them I'd love to.
What did the indie spirit noms represent for you? Because it was such a long window. I think we all saw it in Cannes in the month of May in 2017. Got released in France, different title.
Yeah, God, that was weird.
Went to Sundance, then got, you know, it was like a protracted release. And then this game, it's always last towards the end of the calendar, yet this is a film that was very, like, you know, it's the first quarter. Yeah. So what does that represent for you, perhaps, as
it's good to have a second life, you know, like like some people will be discovering it or they're talking about a movie. It's quite strange because it is very staggered, you know, like it's like this movie's been on for ages, it's like Jesus, you know. But that's, you know, if you can get some people going to see it or watching it and appreciating it, and you know, Sundance was great because a lot of kids came up at Sundance who had the first movies and were like, wow, I saw that, it blew me away, and that was really inspiring. So it gets to a bigger audience, and that's what these nominations are really about. It's not about prizes and accolades, it's about hoping to get people to see your movie and like and discover something, you know. So it's great.
Because this last film, like you said, it was very guns blazing. Yeah. What's one tech department that always surprises you in terms of creativity?
Technical?
Technical. Like it could be costume design for all I know, but which one is like you're always like thrown back and say, wow, this is. I always like. Is there something that you forget how good or how precise or how creative they can be?
I think they're all like pretty amazing. I mean, one thing that never gets mentioned and I always feel bad for, and you would never really hear, is the production design, because it depends what you put in front of your camera as well, and there's sets in this movie, but people don't know that. And so the production designer never gets mentioned, Tim Grimes, and I always feel like it's because it's so effective. It's like because you don't see production design, you know. And obviously the other one in this is sound, you know what I mean? Like I worked with a sound designer from the script onwards, and Johnny Greenwood really early. So just that, I love mixes, and I think I'm I'd like to be a mixer in a different way, you know, because that, to me, when you mix the movie, and it just brings it all together and sounds so much the subconscious of this, especially the last film. And sound people are always amazing because they're so quiet and so humble and modest, and you know, And I learned so much about music I like from my sound designer. He really was into Can and Hogarsuki, but he speaks like that, and he's very English, and his head's always down, and he's always really modest, as is Johnny Greenwood. And those guys just walk your world. And our dialogue editor, Linda Forson, as well, as she was like incredible. And we had a film school student as well, like a young Texan lady, you know what I mean? Like she is going to be one of the best mixers, I think. All our sound designers coming up as well. So just that team, and how humble and modest, and the production designer who never gets a mention.
Tim, yeah.
Cinematographers, but also Tom Townend is phenomenal, the DP, you know, like, and I've known him for like 25 years, like, you know. So we have this language that you don't really, you know, it's, you know, we'll definitely shoot something else again as well, and I think he did a great job considering it's the first film I shot digitally. Yeah. So.